Hey folks, it's just Amy, and I just wanted to give you a few selection tips and tricks that I've used over the years, and would encourage you to try these out as well. As always, starting with a real basic image with a background that's white, it's usually the easiest thing to make selections on, and there's a myriad of ways to do it. As always, I like to come over here and copy the background. That's a Control J, and that just makes it easier for me to make these selections and save them and use them over and over again. Now, these selection tools that you have will be up here in this first grouping. We have the marquee tool, we have the move tool that you don't really use for selecting, but then we have the magnet lasso tool. That is the last one you want to use. And then my two favorites, which are the quick selection tool and the magic wand. Under each of these other tools, you'll have some options as well. And again, they're easy to use, but the two really good ones are the magic wand and the quick selection tool. So when you're making selections, you want to make sure that you're on the right layer, and I'll just show you how this rectangular marquee would work. I just go like this, and you get the marching ants. Made my selection. To deselect it, it would be Control D. That's a nice shortcut. To undo again is Control Z, and I'll bring that selection back. That is not the type of selection I want because it's not detailed enough, so I can get in there and make some even more selections to maybe colorize this image and different types of things. So I'm going to undo. With that being said, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to start with let's start with the quick selection tool. What you have to know is that you can't be afraid to use different tools. If one isn't working great, try another tool. With this selection tool here, the quick selection tool, you'll see here that my pointer is about, I would say about 1/4 of an inch. If I want to make that point bigger, I can come up here to do that, or the shortcut to do that is the bracket key, and it will make it larger, or you can use, and that's the right bracket key, excuse me, will make it larger, or if you want to lessen it, it is the left bracket key, and those two keys are right to the next of your letter P on your keyboard. I'm going to zoom this in just a little bit, not that much. Okay, and you can see here that I'm going to try to come in and select like this. Whoop, and it did okay, but it didn't do great. So I'm going to undo that, and again, you can see here that it just gets some extra stuff. So what I would tell you to do with this one, this is one of my favorites, I just select the whole image, and you'll see my marching ants are around the entire document. Now what you can do with that is then come up here to your select on your menu bar, and you are going to go to inverse. And, oh, it didn't like that. So let's try that again. So no pixels were selected, not the best tool. Next I'm going to come over here and try my magic wand tool, and this time I'm going to drag it, and you can see that I've got marching ants are on the outside and the inside of this image. That's what I want. This time I'm going to go to inverse, and you'll see now that just her body and the book are selected, and that's what I want. So I'm going to take that and save that selection so I can utilize that. And you just come up here to select and say save selection. I'm going to call it woman with book and say okay. Now every time that I want that selection, so if I want to move that like a cut, and I want to move it maybe to a new layer, I can shut these layers off, and you'll see now I have her on a transparent background. This is a critical kind of tool because when you have her on a transparent background, she's very then easy to go get your move tool and move her wherever you want her. Okay, so I have some extra layers here. I'm just going to drag those to the garbage can. And that one did not want to go. Okay, so there I have it. I've made this beautiful selection. It's on a transparent background. Now I can even do more things to it. Now there's two other things that I want to show you to get back to that selection. This is a little tricky. I'm bringing my mouse into the layer 1 and I just hold down my left normal mouse key and hit control at the same time. I know it's hard to see, but that automatically selected that for me. And you can see those marching ants again. I'm going to deselect. You come in here and you have your finger pointed to that selection. You hold down your mouse key, the normal one, and click with your control key. And this time it doesn't want to work. There she is. So I do control and click, and that selection's being made. I'm going to deselect that. The easier way to do that is to just come in here to select up on your menu bar and load the selection. And now you can see here, here's the document, the channel, and I'm going to say, okay, and there she is. All right. So with that being said, those are some of the tips and tricks that I would use to make selections, make your life easier. And again, don't forget some of those keyboard shortcuts. The ones that I've highlighted today are copying the background, which is Control J, zooming in and out, which is Control plus or minus. And when you're using some of the tools and you want a larger tip, you can use your right bracket to make larger or your left bracket to minimize. Hope these help. If you have any questions on making selections, just contact me. Have a great day.